So let's understand what exactly are we seeing from Rambam here. We're seeing from Rambam the following. We're seeing that first and foremost there's a role that Messiah will play. What is the role that Messiah will play? The role that Messiah will play will be in order to bring the people back after they have done tshuva. When they will do tshuva, God will restore us. And God will restore us and revert us back to the original status, and even on a greater level. So this is part of the reward and punishment process of the Torah. We will do tshuva in the end. We will return to God, and God will bring us back through the office of the Messiah. In the prophecy of Bilam, he sees an altogether different thing. This is not just a give and take of reward and punishment, but rather a culmination of the entire history, fulfillment of the purpose of the entire history of the Jewish people. That in the end of days, the people of Israel will come to such a great level that they will have a Messiah. And this Messiah will have incredible gifts, and he will rule over a considerable amount of the world. This is what happened with King David. But then he says, in the future, there's even going to be an even greater fulfillment, that there'll be a descendant of the same king, but he will not only restore the Davidic dynasty to its original grandeur and greatness, he'll completely overshadow the accomplishments of King David, because his rule will extend all over the world. And that's a qualitative difference, that's just a quantitative difference. That he will be of a different caliber, much greater even than King David. And so this is not reward and punishment, but rather the fulfillment of the promise of the purpose of the Torah, which is that we will be free. As we'll see in chapter 12, we will be freed from all of the constraints that do not allow us to reach our spiritual fulfillment. And this is the purpose of the King Messiah, as was revealed in the prophecy of Bilam. There's the teaching of the Torah, which teaches us about the relationship between ourselves and God, that because we will behave properly, we will merit Messiah. And then there's a concept of a fulfillment of purpose. And the purpose of life is to reach a certain level. When will we reach this level? We'll reach it when we ourselves are worthy of it internally. When we have performed the Torah mitzvahs the way we're supposed to, God will then transform the world in order to allow us to go further. And this will be through the office of Messiah. Third aspect, which is found in the Halacha, is a totally different thing. In the first two approaches, Messiah is either a reward for good behavior for tshuva, or Messiah is the culmination, the helping us reach the ultimate perfection of the human condition in order to know God. And that's going to be the messianic role. That's why he will rule all over the world, because A, that way there won't be any threats to the people of Israel, and B, all of the people in the world will then be able to reach their maximum level of the knowledge of God through the office of the Messiah. But this is how first we as a people, and ultimately mankind as a species, will reach the greatest level for which they were created. But then there's a third aspect, and the third aspect is the question is, what about the world? What's in it for the world? The Messiah, is Messiah there only for the people of Israel or for mankind? Or is Messiah there also to assist in transforming a world? And that even though Maimonides might not have considered this in his conclusions in his outlook was because he had certain biases. But being that he writes in terms of halacha, it actually, he has to conclude it without realizing, perhaps, its import. And that's the following, that Messiah is not just going to bring a tikkun for people, for mankind. Messiah brings a tikkun for the world itself. And that will be expressed in the fact that the kingdom of Israel will expand, and they will have 3 more cities of refuge, which indicates a halachic aspect, a halachic change in the status of the world. So that Messiah will not only bring fulfillment, not only will he bring a cure and a satisfaction of all the wounds, a healing of all the wounds of the exile, on one level. The second level, he will actually transform mankind to bring mankind to its highest and most purposeful level. Third thing is, he will actually make a change in the world. The world will change, and the land of Israel will change its borders, and for that reason there will be another 3 cities of refuge, 9 altogether. And so the purpose of the Messiah is to effect a change not only in man, but in the world. The world that we have will be transformed into a different kind of world. That is lesson number 3 on the coming of Messiah.